total population size of Africa right now stands at 1.5 billion. And by 2050, this number is going to increase to 2.5 billion. Following the World War II in 1945, the European share of population in the world was 22%. In Africa, this stood at 9%. By 2050, the share of Africa's population is going to be 22. For Europe, it's going to be 7.5. So you can already see a drastic change in terms of the size of the populations. And this, of course, has geopolitics implications.
As Italian, we are facing a demographic crisis. We are not having children. The fertility rate is really under the substitution rate that is 2.1 children per woman.
I'm Francesco Bellina. I was born in Trapani. Later I moved to Palermo to study at the university. In Palermo I started to do my first works as a photographer, doing some investigations, especially on the topic that I love to cover, like migration, human rights. I love Africa, so that's why I live between Palermo and Accra in Ghana. And I like also to try to connect these areas in terms of culture and art. I consider myself an artist, but because I love to work on some specific topics, these topics are treated in a journalistic way. I was in Niger in 2019 and I covered the migration from Agadez to Dirkou in Libya, and later from Libya they were going to Europe. These people are from the sub-Saharan Africa. They were everybody in Agadez, in one of the ghettos, and they decided to cross the border. So I saw them coming with a big yellow truck, and the gate opened. They started to falling down because they were dry, without food. They stayed 3 days in this situation. There was a long line with the officers of the IOM seated there, asking for the identification. I saw how they set up the office, they put out the laptop, and they started to interview these people. And they were proposing to the migrants the voluntary return to their own place. For me, it was shocking to see this scene. They wanted to go to France, others wanted to go to UK. One of them was from Liberia, and he said that he wanted to be a football player because it was his only possibility to make money and to have a future.
I left Liberia for Algeria. When I entered Algeria, to go to Libya, and from Libya to use boat to go to Italy. I'm a footballer. So it was my dream also to go Italy so that I can improve my game and then help my parents in the future. We were not free in Algeria. You will be looking behind left, right to see if police car is coming. When they catch you, they beat on you, treat you bad, and then deport you in the desert.
I got inside the ghetto where they were staying. There was a big claim in the wall, Europe or nothing. So it's so much the energy that they have to cross, that they don't care about the danger in that case. So Europe of nothing is like a claim to move their steps every day. And this is a rubber boat empty. Here there were 98 people. They were crossing the sea. I was on a Mediterranean ship that is an NGO from Italy. We rescued 98 people. There were 22 children.
Sicily is important as a migration flow entry to Italy, but also to Europe. For geographical and geopolitical reasons, we are in front of the youngest continent of this world, that is Africa. We are in the center of the Mediterranean. Sicily receives a lot of first entry because the majority of people that arrive in Sicily, they not stop in Sicily. They wish to go to the north of Italy or the north of Europe. So Sicily is a transit zone, no? For people that try to find a better life.
So it was an experience that taught me a lot, that showed me with my face what was going on in the Mediterranean Sea, and I will never forget all those moments. So I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to testify this happening there. Now today we are going to Roccamena. Roccamena is a very small village, 1 hour far from Palermo. And there are some ladies that are almost everybody from Africa, and I'm teaching them how to take photos. The idea of the workshop was to make them comfortable taking photos around in the streets in the village where they live. So I wanted to find the right idea to discover more and to learn more about the Sicilian culture, and the Sicilians to learn more about the African culture. When I went the first time to Roccamena, I wanted to drink a coffee before to start my work. And I went in a bar. Everybody looked at me like, who is this stranger? And the owner asked me, why you are here? I said, I'm working with the shelter of refugees. Ah, you work with these people? I said, yes. Ah, I said, why? No, because there are a lot of these people. And I said, sorry, you are very old. What is you have daughter, sons? Oh, sure. My son, he lives in Milan. The daughter lives in London. I say, why your daughter can migrate outside to make more money and these people can't come here, maybe because they are escaping by war or whatever. So fortunately, you have the migrants here, because otherwise this village is dead. These people are very young, maybe they can love the place, maybe they will stay, and you can solve a lot of problems in your place. And they look at me like, what are you saying? I hope it was useful.
What we know is that many African countries have youth bulges or large youthful populations, and they often from 25 years old down. But then within the specific, between 25 down, you have this range, which is from 15 to 24. So Roccamena is a place that I never seen before.
I was a bit shocked because it's up on a hill, it's a very empty place. Maybe you can see old men seated in a bar drinking coffee. This is a very rural place. There was an incredible decrease of the population. Sometimes in these places, but in Sicily in general, there is not a vision to how to develop your place. It's easier to go away, to escape, to migrate. But sometimes it's more difficult to stay here and trying to fight against the system that is let this town decrease step by step.
As Italian, we are one of the oldest population at global level. Italy has around 58 million people at the moment. So we should lose around 4 or 5 million in the next 25 years. The problem of the small town in Sicily and around Italy is a huge problem for geographical reasons also. No? Italy has a lot of small towns, so there are a lot of regions that are going to lose population. Some towns like Roccamena are trying to attract migrants and asylum seekers to give to a small town a new age, a new life.
I can give you more.
No, wait, where my own?
Blessing is going to snap the last one. How are you? I'm Francesco. What's your name? Blessing. Nice to meet you. Così vediamo tutte e due.
Ok.
Questo mettitelo più verso di te, il ventaglio.
Che non c'è lo spettale qua a Roccamena.
Je m'appelle Angela Fotso, j'ai 18 ans, je suis camerounaise. En Italie, j'ai 1 an et 4 mois.
Così?
Però guarda dentro, non guardare qua. She's dressed like a Sicilian lady because I propose to them to dress the local people in the African clothes.
Pour que je m'habille en vêtements italiens. Et les Italiens aussi se sont habillés comme des Africains. C'était vraiment très beau.
Ah, vedi, questi sono l'otturatore e il diaframma, io te l'avevo detto l'altro giorno alla prima lezione.
Metti qua, perché là...
Lo mettiamo a 16. La lumière c'est pas bonne ici, eh?
La lumière!
At the end of the day, the camera is just a medium. The photo is just an excuse, a medium. But what is important is that they can build something together, they can feel more home, more comfortable here.
Eravamo 1308 a Roccamena, pochissimi, senza giovani, tutta gente adulta, gente sposata, ma ci mancano i giovani. Roccamena era un paesino molto più abitato, eravamo circa 4.000 abitanti. Nel corso poi degli anni con il lavoro, purtroppo con la mancanza di lavoro, abbiamo avuto un fenomeno di emigrazione. Emigrazione di tanti giovani, tra l'altro mancano intere fasce di generazioni, interi anni di nascita che non troviamo più nemmeno un ragazzo a Roccamena. L'attività primaria di questo comune è l'agricoltura. Per noi i migranti sono una forza lavoro, facciamo veramente fede su questi lavoratori, lavorano molto. aiutano molto le aziende agricole, chi nella raccolta del pomodoro, chi nella raccolta a Roccamena dei meloni, dell'uva, e continueranno fino alla raccolta poi delle olive.
Like Roccamena, I saw other villages in the same situation that survive only thanks to the migration. Because these shelters create a small economy inside the village, and not only in terms of numbers and economy, but also in terms of happiness, in terms of hope. Because when you see young people playing, smiling, singing, dancing in the street, I think that it's good for everybody, not only for them. So they are bringing new energies in these villages.
Abbiamo perso i nostri giovani e sono rimasti loro a darci una mano. Quindi si sono integrati loro e ci siamo integrati noi.
Oggi pomeriggio abbiamo celebrato la giornata mondiale del rifugiato. In realtà poi è stata una festa, diciamo, di comunità, perché per arrivare a questa serata abbiamo attivato, insomma, dei laboratori dove abbiamo messo assieme le nostre beneficiarie con le persone del territorio.
Elisabetta, Angela, parenti, le mura per dare i passaggi.
Bravo.
Oui, on se sent accepté. Bon, en fait, on n'a pas la même mentalité. Moi, je viens d'un pays, les autres d'un autre. Donc, moi, je pense qu'on se sent accepté parce qu'on n'a pas de problème. On n'a pas de problème de racisme. Ah, il n'y avait pas mon texte. Nel solito mondo ero convinto che ci fosse una bella struttura.
Roccamena, come tantissime, una miriade, centinaia di migliaia di altre realtà, non solo in Sicilia, chiaramente in Italia, ma credo che sia un fenomeno, diciamo, ormai generalizzato nel mondo, rischiano veramente di scomparire. E la presenza di persone, di cittadini con background migratorio può invece, come dire, consentire di invertire questa tendenza. E sapete come si fa? Facendoli sentire a casa propria, costruendo opportunità di crescita tutti assieme.
This migration policy that many European countries have taken, this is really to do anything to prevent African youth from migrating to Europe. Sometimes they sign contracts with countries at the border, whether that's Libya, which is a war-torn countries, where there's a lot of inhuman action done to African migrants, and this all to deter them from migrating to Europe. But at the same time, if you're living in such a despair situation where you know that there's no way out, so for many, they're like, I'm willing to risk my life. If I succeed, I succeed. If I don't succeed, then at least that wasn't meant for me. I need to try.
Se l'Europa dovrà continuare a subire l'immigrazione incontrollata e lasciando decidere ai trafficanti di esseri umani chi debba entrare a casa nostra, oppure se dovrà controllare le frontiere esterne, bloccare le partenze illegali e rimpatriare gli irregolari.
They will still, despite seeing the racism, despite seeing the struggle that many African migrants in countries such as Italy, in all these border countries are facing, they will still choose to come. I used to be like, why? Why this is the case? But you don't know until you see what some of these youth go through there. Then you, as a human, you will understand.
où je vivais avec mes parents, il y a des terroristes qui sont arrivés, se sont mis à brûler, casser des maisons. Après, on s'est enfui. Et dans ça, j'ai perdu mes parents. J'ai vécu 2 kidnappings au Cameroun, pas en sécurité, parce que lorsque les hommes sont arrivés chez nous au niveau de l'école, ils nous ont déshabillés, découpés, rasé les cheveux. Je suis venue en Italie seule. Je suis quittée le Cameroun seule. J'ai quitté le Cameroun avec mon petit frère. Mais présentement, lui, il est au Cameroun.
But in many of the contexts when the youth come here, they really have this aspiration of really not just being a part of the society, but also contributing. And I think that is in every human being's, it's in every human being's nature to want to obtain your full potential.
There are people that think that migrants are only a problem, and there are other people that think that migrants are the solution of everything. My idea is that we need to find a balance. If we continue to consider migration as a one thing, then we have a problem. We need to consider the individual.
African youth is going to play a crucial role in terms of not just European, but also global economy. The size of the populations matter not just in terms of the labor supply, but also in terms of industrialization, innovations. Many contexts in Europe right now with the aging societies, they're really lacking this labor supply. If people are able to change the perception of how they view African youth, they're able to see a potential here.
I want to finish my school. I want to learn the language and go to school. And later I will see how I can work to bring my small brother here in Italy with me. Mon avis avec les jeunes personnes, les jeunes Africains qui veulent aussi se lancer dans la route de l'aventure, je les conseillerais plutôt de faire les demandes de visa, de faire leurs documents, de voyager légalement, que de prendre le désert et la Méditerranée. Parce qu'il y a vraiment des trucs qui se passent derrière. Je ne regrette pas parce que je n'ai pas souhaité. Et je ne regrette pas aussi parce que je suis déjà là. Le pire est passé. Et je suis en vie.